welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. 45 minutes that we spend together, just embracing ourselves. Sounds weird. Just kind of going through some poses and postures, getting comfy, waking up, or slowing down, or just taking a nice little refresh in the middle of the day. So we're going to spend some time together. Welcome, welcome. So get in a position that's comfortable for you. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing today. It's getting to be the time of year where sometimes people have a lot of trouble with alternate nostril breathing because it's getting cooler and people have problems with like cold and things like that. But if you can't, do what you can do, no worries, regardless, you're just going to breathe. That's the big thing, is your breathing. So what I like to do is take one finger on one nostril, one on the other, and just bounce back and forth between the two. So the air goes up one and out the other, and then in one and out the other. We are going to spend about 3 minutes or so on it, and if this is not for you, pick another type of breath. Just breathe somehow, some way. All right, let's begin. One more minute. Do one more each side, and then release. Do some nice little head circles. Of course, if you need to go blow your nose, I understand. You could do that. Come back. And then come on back to a nice neutral neck and just turn that head. And then if you would like to bring a little bit of extra weight to it, feel free. Remember, that's only weight only, you're not pushing. And release. Turn and face the other direction. And if you'd like to bring a little bit of extra pressure. turn to one side. It'll look different depending on the way you are seated, of course. And the other way. And come back through center. All right, so I don't know how people deal with these little finger things. All right, we're going to make our way to a puppy posture. We're going to do downward dog in a couple minutes, but we're going to go puppy first. So we're going to come into our tabletop and then drop down to the forearms and bring that head down to the ground and really stretch out that back. While I feel downward dog is great for stretching out the back, sometimes it can be too much too soon. So we want to just ease into it a little bit. And a little bit of shaking of the hips feels good, but you can find stillness as well. If you want to stay in your puppy, feel free. Otherwise, bring yourself back up to table. And let's kick one foot back. And let's switch it over to the other side. And release. And if you're comfortable coming all the way into downward dog, wonderful, great. Join me. If not, stay where you are. And feel free to bring those feet as wide as the mat. You can really sit back a little bit more that way. One more breath wherever you are. And then release back down to table. All right, sit back, relax. If you are in a different position, let's all join together here. What we're going to do is some little bear crawls, is what I call them in group fitness. I'm not really sure what the official word would be in the yoga community, but we're going to go with bear crawls because I'm the coach today. So if someone else has something else they want to call them, either just let me know below what you call them, or we'll just go with it. All right, so what's going to happen is we're just going to kind of go just the distance of our mat, so nothing too crazy. And if you just want to stay up high, that's totally fine too. All right, so what I mean by a bear crawl is you're going to be here in your tabletop, and you're going to tuck those toes under, and you're going to lift your knees off the ground. So this is where our movement goes. So we're going to go forward 1 or 2 little steps, and then back 1 or 2 little steps. So release it down, shake it out. So we're going to do about 30 seconds through twice, and if that is too much movement, I totally get it. Just stay here and hold as long as you can, and then tap down, reset, and then come back up. So 2 rounds of 30, we'll have a little bit of a break in between, so I'm going to come to the back of my mat, and everyone's face is going to look a little different, so your distance you travel, the speed you travel is all going to be based on you. All right, so we're going to start at the top. So we have about 10 seconds. So we're just going to kind of rock a little side to side. Little cat-cows. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lift those knees just a little bit. And we're just going to take a little itty-bitty walks or slides. If you're not comfortable lifting that full hand or foot up, you can just slide on the mat. That's totally fine. Time for one more. Back. All right, and release. Take a couple seconds, stay where you are, relax, refresh, stretch out. And we're going to take a little bit of time to recoup, bringing movement back into those wrists. We're going to do that one more time, but we're going to wait about a minute. So feel free to grab a beverage of the clear and water variety, I'm assuming. All right, so do you want to just hold the second round? Do you want to add some movement? Do you want to do something completely different? All options that you can do. based on what you need. All right, so we're gonna start in 15 seconds. We're gonna get the second one over and done with. Not that it isn't wonderful, but we need to move on. All right, shake it out, get ready, get set, 3, 2, 1, lift, and add in your movement of choice. One more is what I have time for. And come on down. We're going to come all the way down to the belly. We're going to come into a little cobra. We're going to shake those hips a little left, a little right. Let's bend that right knee. Let's move around that right ankle. And the other way. All right, and let's bring that foot over. Have the foot touch the ground. And let's just bring an arm, other arm behind our head and point that elbow up to the ceiling and stare at the ceiling as well if you'd like. And release it down, come back through center. All right, let's bend the other leg. Let's move around that ankle. And the other way. All right, let's bring that foot to the other hand behind the head, elbow up and look up. And really, this should be my thumbnail right here, huh? And let's come back to center. Let's bend both those knees. And we're just gonna crisscross. Thankfully, I don't do thumbnails that have pictures in them. And then let's bend and straighten, keeping those feet flexed. So 3, and 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right, let's lay on our side. Because we can, because we're here, let's lay down on our side, having that head supported. Let's do some clams, and then some upper arms, or some or upper body, lower body. All right, let's do some clams first. Let's have those feet touch and just open and close the knee. One more like this, and then relax. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick out, come in, open, and close, all right? Let's do, where those knees are touching, open and close. 2, 3. If you need your hand here for support, that's fine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Really feeling here in these glutes. Side of the hip. 10. All right, so we're going to go through that whole thing again with the knees not touching, but we're going to let them rest for a second, and we're going to do some upper body. So I'd like just put your hand right on your hip. I would like you to keep the upper part of the arms still, and I'd like you to just bend the elbow. So that elbow is tucked in nice and close, and the upper arm is right on top of the torso. All we're going to do is we're going to open and close to center, 10 there, and then down and up, okay? Just nice, easy movement. And if something is restricted or you're having problems, either modify, do something else completely, or just reduce your range of motion by modification in that way. All right, let's go for one. Now you can't go all the way up because then your elbow hits. Work with what your anatomy has to give you. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come to flat, and then down, and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Relax that arms. Let's go back to those legs. So that same diddle-ditty, except now your knees are not touching. So this is going to make it more difficult. So if you found the first round challenging enough for you today, stay with the second round. If we're going through and you're like, ooh, this is burning a little bit more than I thought it would be, go back. And the same thing with that second bit where we're kicking out, that's going to be harder. So you feel free, do your thing, modify, adjust, or replace. Okay? All right, so let's separate those knees and let's open for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's kick out, in, open, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. Beautiful. Let's push ourselves up. And all we're going to do is lift one arm over. And then come back. Lift those hips up. And back down. Over. And back. Lift those hips up. And back down. All right. Let's do the other side. Relax. Make sure you have room to kick. All right. So knees are together first. All right. Let's come out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Let's kick out, in, up, and down. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's shake it out. And the hand on the body. Let's bend that elbow. We're in nice and tight. Starting from parallel to the ground, and let's come up and down. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. And let's go down. 1, 2, 3, 6, ooh, excuse me, 7, a little yawning, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's come to around 2 if those knees are separated. And let's go 2. Not rushing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Out, in, up, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9, glutes on fire, and 10. Whew. All right, bring it down. Come on up. Let's bring that other arm over and down, and lift the hips up and down, and up and down. And lift the hips up and down. Beautiful. This is the perfect time to grab some water, to fix your headband, whatever you got going on. This is a good time to just take a second and breathe because we're halfway through class right now. All right, so once you're situated, bring those legs in front of you, point those toes up to the sky. Now, if you have the ability to reach your feet from here, cool beans. I do not. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to grab onto my feet, and then I'm going to straighten my legs as much as I can. Hold on to those feet, and bring those shoulders down. Take 5 breaths here. And if I have the ability to move a little farther, once I kind of loosen up a bit, that's the chance we get to have when we take those 5 breaths together. And release, roll it on up. Bring one foot in, one foot out. Point those toes up. Now, your ability to lean farther forward is probably going to be greater now because you're taking that one leg out of the picture. So let's walk the hands down as far as you can. If you can reach the foot, awesome, great, wonderful, good. If you can't, you know what, it's fine. Shoulders down, relaxed. And come up. And then rotate yourself into this kind of negative space here. Walk forward, keeping the hips on the ground as far as you can. Shoulders back and down. And then come on up. And last one on the side, reaching towards the bent knee side, hips on the ground. And this is going to be saying definitely a range of motion changes for sure. And then come knee up. Let's do a little twist. And release. All right, let's set up for the other side. Bring that foot in. All right, and walk those hands down as far as they'll go on this side. And then come on up and go into this negative space in the middle. And walk those hands down. And then come on up, and then towards that bent knee, walk it down. And then come on up, bring that knee up, and let's twist. And let's come back to center. And let's bend those knees. Let's bring those hands on the outsides of the thighs. And I'd like you to just sit back and come up. So we're having a nice flat back. And we're here. If you don't need the hands on the legs today, release them. And if you'd like to sit back a little bit more, you can. We have 3 more, however you'd like to do it. For 3, for 2, and 1. Hold. And roll it up. All right, grab your knees, give them a little rock side to side. And then we're going to come to standing and do some tree, any variation of tree that you'd like. So how would you like to come to standing today? You want to grab some water on the way up, whatever it happens to be. Taking your time, finding your way up. Everyone's balance is a little different, especially depending on what time of the day you are partaking in our yoga session. All right, just as a reminder, this tree is totally your tree. It's not my tree, it's your tree. So, perfect world, perfect picture, all that sort of stuff. You'd be up here, everything is wonderful and great. That may not be where you want to be today. Maybe that's not where you were yesterday, maybe that's not where you're going to be tomorrow. Whatever it happens to be. You can be here, you can even be laying back on the ground and doing that tree pose that way. So we're going to do 2 rounds of 30 seconds. I'm just going to count out the 30 seconds in my head. You keep the knee on this side pointed out. You do not put this foot up against this knee on the outside. We don't want any external pressure pushing on your knee like that. But you do you for 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. We'll take a little recovery, and then we'll do it again one more time. Okay? So I'm going to do some standing bits today. All right, so find a position on the ground that you need to look at for balance, and find the position for your hands to be a counterbalance for your body. If you need to hold on for transition up and down, that's fine, but try to make sure that the posture you are going to pick today is something that you can hold for 30 seconds to the best of your ability. I mean, if you come out or get a little bit a little off balance, if you get dizzy, come right out. But if you feel like a little off balance, you need to kind of touch for a second, totally fine. All right, let's pick a side. Let's lift it on up. And let's begin. Do not just flop out of your pose. Take the extra second and come out. Relaxed, in control. Maybe even a little grace. Other side. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Out, move around, grab some water. One thing that I will mention is that obviously every body is different and every setup is a little bit different. If you have that foot right in the middle of your leg, totally fine. If it's a little bit farther forward or a little farther back and you're kind of using the development of your legs and where your muscles kind of cross over each other and butt up next to each other, and you're using that as kind of a stabilization point, great, do it. I find that my foot is a little bit farther forward. I find it a lot easier to get that pushing equally on both sides. It is a little farther forward on my particular body. So everyone, of course, is going to be different. So just because you're looking at the picture of what the pose should be, that does not mean that that's the be-all, end-all. That's a wonderful practice for somebody. That's a wonderful drawing for somebody. But you don't know how many times they had to do that pose or posture for that photograph. So it's different. So you be different, okay? My little helpful head. All right, let's do the second round of both legs. All right, let's do 3, 2, 1, and go. $29 and $30. Whew. Last time through, and then we will cool it on down a little. Work our way back down to the floor. Other side. Trying to match as well as you can. And begin. Release, bring those legs nice and wide. Let's bend those knees. Just put our hands on our thighs and just rock a little side to side. And let's drop down equally on both sides. Bring one hand down, the other hand can stay on that leg or it can go up to the air. And let's drop that down and lift the other one up. One more time on each. First hand switches out. Can we go maybe a little bit deeper, a little bit higher, a little bit wider? And then drop it down. And up one more time. And jump down. Roll it up nice and slow. Bring those hands behind you, grabbing the opposite elbow. Shoulders back and down. Turn and face one way. Through center, switch which hand is on top, and switch the head. Come back through center. Let's bring those feet in nice and slow. Come to the front edge of our mat. Now lift our arms up, back bend as much or as little as you want. And let's swan dive down. Bring those hands to the ground. And then come to a nice halfway lift, bringing those hands on the thighs. Straighten out that back. Release those hands down and then walk one foot back. Come to your knee. Walk the other foot back. Come to the knee. Let's do 2 cats and 2 cows. Let's do a cat together and a cow together. Let's do a cat together and a cow together. Let's come back through neutral. Let's bring those feet in front. Let's cross one leg over and bring the other foot in as much or as little as you would like. So you're feeling a nice stretch in this part, but on the other side. So this is kind of like a figure 4 stretch, just seated. And release. And let's come to the other side. Set yourself up so you can match the best of your ability. And release. Bring those knees one to each side. Lean on forward. Give a little love to the feet, to the toes. And decide how you want to spend your Shavasana today. All right, bring those knees in. Separate them a little bit. And let's do 5 lines, breaths together, and then we'll go into our Shavasana. Okay, so remember, a lion's breath is where we kind of put a whole bunch of tension into our face, our shoulders, our eyes, or anything that you can bring tension to, you do, and then you just blow it all out like it's fire, like you're one of those dragons in one of the libraries in New York City. Just, if you want to separate your legs and physically kind of do them into the space here, if you're in a group, that's totally fine, no worries. If you're by yourself like me, you're just gonna do it out into the open, really using it as a way to diffuse any tension, get rid of any extra stress in your face, things like that. All right, so let's do 5 together, and then we'll Shavasana, and then class will be done. All right, let's go. Bring it in. For 1. For 2. for 3. For 4. Last one, best one. And for 5. All right, if you want to put any slippers on, a sweatshirt on, anything like that, feel free, grab some water, and then transition yourself into the Shavasana position of your choice. And we're gonna end class in Shavasana today. So I'll let you know when time is up, but if you would like to position yourself maybe on a couch or something like that, or if you're taking a nap, maybe on your bed. Remember, you can always just pause class, get yourself figured out, and then push pause again and restart, which is awesome. Bringing some movement back into those fingers and toes. And remember, you're staying where you are. And when you are ready, you're going to blink open your eyes and get ready to start or finish whatever you were doing before. Hopefully, maybe taking a little nap, having a cup of tea, whatever it happens to be. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later.